up, everybody? Oh, it's pretty good lighting. Hey, what's going on? Sirloin is in what, 30 minutes? So I figured I might as well go live. Got surfboards here. Not my surfboards, but figured I might as well join you. Hope your evening is going well. We are in front of the beautiful beach here. Can we see it? There we go. Oh, we got good lighting. Wow. I don't even need a filter for this one. Force stimulus check updated 2021. Recon procedural passed about 5, 6, 8 hours ago. Recon procedural passed on the House side as expected, so away we go. I love all the people who are saying, there's no vote till September. Yeah, the Recon procedural passed in DC today. I gotta keep the lighting, there we go. And away we go to the subcommittees working on your force stimulus check updated 2021. They're going to be running over the next few days, so really critical. If you have any questions or answers that you want in this video, jump on into the live chat. If you see me, there is Clifford. What's going on? Hey, how are you, Clifford? Hey, what's going on, Mark? Welcome, and thank you for becoming a Purple Power member. Live with you in Malibu here in front of the beach, trying to keep a shot of the water so you see it live. There we go. Good lighting here tonight. There is Willie. Hey, what's going on, Willie? Sir Sirloin is what, 30 minutes? 20 minutes? Good evening. How are you doing? Where are you all tuning in from? There's Lori. What's going on, Lori? I hope you're having a good evening as well. Hey, what's going on? I'm giving you a live shot here in Malibu with the water. I want to try to keep it in focus so you can see how beautiful the water is. Sunset's about to drop in about 15 minutes. So it was mostly gray, but now you can see some blue coming on in. What's going on, Jason? Hey, Mariah, what's going on? Let's get a good shot for you. There we go. It's sort of like I want to give you the water, but I also want to keep it, there we go. Because we got the interior lighting, which is sort of diffusing the background. Oh, it did again. There we go. All right, perfect. So where's everybody tuning in from tonight? There is Lori and John. What's going on? And there's what does that say? Bobraz. What's going on? It's a beautiful evening here in Malibu, California. The force stimulus check update is that the recon procedural passed a few hours earlier today, so they did have that vote, and so away we go into recon substantive. Recon procedural passed earlier today. For some reason, the chat screen is disappearing throughout the chat. There we go. LALATE, I only qualify for stimulus check, no other benefits. Will I get a single person, no kids receive a stimulus check? Yes. Third stimulus was the only one that got a big wrap of just children's checks. But generally, you qualify Deep Blue Cat for something under the stimulus package, unless you're a millionaire. Unless you make over $100,000 a year, you generally qualify for the stuff that's in these 4 stimulus packages. So do not think you don't qualify unless you make an enormous amount of money. You're 6 figures. If you're on benefits like SSI or SSDI, you qualify as well. And so there's a lot of wonderful things in all these stimulus packages. There's always someone that will say, I don't qualify, and that was certainly an issue I had to do back in January when third stimulus passed. A lot of people said, hey, I don't qualify for things. I'm like, yeah, you do, unless you make a lot of money annually. Clifford, how are you doing tonight? I'm doing good. The sun is about to drop. It's blue here. Well, the ocean is sort of gray in real life, but I'm trying to get the light to hit it in a way that you see it as blue. Hello from Mississippi. Hello, Leroy. What's going on? Deep Blue Cat. Okay, so you'll be good. Yeah. They should have never really done the third stimulus with this whole notion of children, because a lot of people got confused from this. Hello, Clifford. What's going on? Oh, no problem. I appreciate that. Hello from New York, Sylvia Torres. Where in New York are you? How much of the checks will be? Will they be monthly? We don't know just yet. Jason. Oh, expat. Okay. I need to pay the rent and the utilities. Will there be 4 stimulus for you? Possibly. Now, Larry, why you need to get rent and utilities under third stimulus right now? I mean, there's rent and utilities available right now under third stimulus, so you shouldn't be waiting a minute to get rent and utilities. City Hall, City House Authority, County Hall, County House Authority, State Hall, State House Authority, and then the nonprofits. You should be getting rent and utilities right now. In the daily videos where I talk about Mark that went out and got that money in 5 days, his neighbor getting $20,000 of rent in 5 days. It's real. So go get that rent and utilities daily. For some reason, the chat screen sort of disappears every few minutes. There we go. Adult dependents on SSI getting 4 stimulus. Yeah, I think they got rid of that whole SSI, that whole adult dependent disqualification from first and second stimulus. I don't think that's ever going to come back. They got enough rap about that. That was a horrible, horrible error that if you were an adult dependent, you wouldn't get anything. I don't think we'll ever have that problem. Now, picking up for people who missed a check from first and second stimulus for adult dependents, I don't think they're going to do that. Eternal, I like that you're doing a Q&A. Very good. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wanted to give everyone a good shot of the water because it is beautiful. And I'm manipulating colors. I admit I'm manipulating colors because the water in real life looks sort of gray, but you're getting sort of a blue hue because my shirt is brown, so it's the light is reflecting. SSI. If everyone else gets money, then SSI gets money. Yes, Carl. Thank you, Troy. Hey, Jason. Patience has always been the key. Absolutely. DD, yeah, that was a horrible error. Yeah, they talked a lot about those children on the third stimulus. They never should have, because a lot of people just sort of thought that everything was just for children. And when's the new deadline for new stimulus? Congressional leaders never have deadlines, you know. They just move goalposts. They never have deadlines. When do you think the stimulus will come this month? August. Well, isn't today like the 24th? No, you will not physically receive in your hands in the month of August any fourth stimulus money. Absolutely not. I mean, you can't receive anything in your hands in 6 days from now because nothing's law at the moment. So no, but you can certainly get third stimulus money within 6 days. Absolutely. Do you know what day we're getting it? No, not law yet. And that was, for some reason, the chat screen disappears now and then. That was Carl. We'll get it back starting from July. I get that question a lot, Jason. It's a great question. Certainly, I've been one of the biggest advocates for retro payments. I've been covering retro payments since last year, and I believe people are owed retro payments. They're owed retro payments last year. They're owed retro payments this year. But with the exception of one time, Nancy Pelosi said retro in December of last year. These people have never, ever delivered anything retro. So people should be fighting for retro. I believe it's a fight that should be fought. But let's understand, these people have never paid anything retro. Someone said something about retro as well. Yeah, I mean, these people just don't. It's just sort of not in their mindset. Troy. I'm at the end of Bronx. Oh, hey, fuck the Yonkers. Do you honestly think we'll get a stimulus check? Susan, $3.5 trillion of checks, absolutely you're getting under the forced stimulus recon. People will be getting an enormous amount of money under the forced stimulus recon, 3.5 trillion. Trust me, I don't say on air a lot of the stuff I get private messages about, or some of the comments that don't post. People say I need a stimulus check to buy a house. I need a stimulus check to buy a yacht, to buy a car. That's not their focus. Their focus is to give you money for certain items. So this sort of blank check approach, a lot of people got used to it. And what I'm having viewers really focus on is everyone has rent, everyone has utilities, everyone has bills. If the federal government wants to pick up your bills, let them pick up your bills if you qualify for it, because it's financial freedom. It's a lot of money. Imagine $27,000 of rent being paid by the federal government. You know, they're not going to pay for the shoes you're wearing, but they'll pay for $27,000 of rent. Let them pay for the $27,000 of rent. And that's why I think we've been successful in having people sort of refocus and realize $3.5 trillion of checks are in there. Will any unemployment benefits be extended by Congress? John, that's a great question. I think they can, and I think they will. I'm not very clear on whether they think that extending unemployment benefits results in a financial burden on the federal government. I don't think they think it does. If it's not FPC, I don't think it costs the federal government anything. So if there's just extending PUA or extending UI, I don't think that costs the federal government any money. Biden came out with something 2 days ago, I didn't really cover, where states could reallocate money for purposes of extended benefits. So I think the federal government sort of wants to do it. And in the past, when we've had stimulus packages, they just sort of slide the unemployment benefits in at the last second. Like, of course we're doing it. I'm like, because you have sort of given this a tip off that you're going to do it ahead of time. They've always sort of slid it in like it was sort of much of nothing, like everyone expected them to do it. So at the moment, I don't think I'd see FPUC at $600 a week. I don't think that's going to happen. But UI or PUA, I think that's absolutely could potentially be extended. Oops, sorry. How about the Medicare expansion? I don't know what that is, Jamie. I don't know what the Medicare expansion is. There is reduced Medicare expenses under forced stimulus. I talk about that a lot. Is SSI going to get the food stamp raised? Absolutely. If you're on SNAP, and that is for Kathy. If you're on SNAP, absolutely, you're going to get the SNAP increase in October automatically. Absolutely. Will they be expending mortgage and rent payments moratorium? Well, they extended the... Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. That is a very tough topic for them. They did a moratorium on student loan debt repayment till January, but student loan debts is sort of the universities and the federal government battling. When you talk about rent, it's all the lobbyists of the landlords versus the federal government. So hard to tell on that one. I really don't know. Oh, thank you, Lori. My Wi-Fi was $20. Now it's $0 because you told me. Thank you so much. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. So I'm glad you got one. Now let's get two more. That was Danuth Lynn. Congratulations. Two more. Get two more. I want you to go for that triple crown. You mentioned lowering eligibility age for Medicare. I did. Yes, that is true. It's one of those things I don't know a lot about. I'm just sort of reading what they're proposing. So yes, that is one of the things they're for Jeannie Hornsby. Yes, absolutely. They are talking about lowering the eligibility. Absolutely. How about free 2-year college? Yes, they have a lot of that. They talked about that a lot in third stimulus, but I see that coming under fourth stimulus. I think I talked about it a lot more in maybe like May. They have a lot of stuff about that. A lot of it has to do with what college, if it's state-owned, if it's privately owned, and that's sort of dependent on. It's sort of dependent on what type of institution it is. With SNAP and housing raise the cap on how much you're allowed to have? I don't know. That's a really good question. SNAP generally doesn't change the eligibility. I've not heard a lot of SNAP for changing eligibility. When will they show us the RECON bill? In the next few weeks. So that's a great question for Paula. They're working on that starting tomorrow. So you're going to hear that on air with me tomorrow at Mornings LA, because I know there's going to be someone say, they're gone and they're not doing anything to September. No, they're doing your RECON subsidy bill. They're doing they have been doing it, but they're doing it tomorrow and they're doing it the day after. So do not close up shop and come back in September, because this is where you got to push. I applied for rent today. Good. I love that. Did everyone see Denuth applied for rent? You got to do the same. Everyone do that. Date going out on fourth stimulus. So that's not law yet. There's Simba. Hello, Simba. There's Frank. And there's Deep Blue Cat. D-Way with 3.5 stimulus, could there not be monthly stimulus checks? That's a great question. Yeah, you wake up and they spend all the money on the farmers. Absolutely. 3.5 can get eaten up very quickly if they spend the money the wrong way. But there's a lot of money for 3.5 trillion. I mean, if you've been with me since day one, 3.5 trillion is a lot of money. A lot of money for one check. Not a lot of money for, $20,000 a check a person. That's a lot of money for at least one check. But it's not necessarily a lot of money for lots and lots and lots of checks. $20,000 a check per person. There's not a lot of space for that necessarily if they spend money on, farmers and cows. So, Lori, thank you for a nice comment. Will they bring the price tag down on the 3.5 DD? No, that was done today. So the vote today agreed upon the price tag. So they're done with the price tag. All they're doing now is the RECON subsidy. So price tag is now done. Oh, thank you, Helen. I got good lighting, so it's helping. I'm trying to give you the surf in the background. I'm here in Malibu. Hey, Angela. Hey, Helen. What am I cooking? I'm not cooking. I'm in a restaurant, so I'm not cooking. Toronto, not law yet. Where are you? On a boat, a train, a plane? I am in a restaurant in Malibu. So that is the Pacific Ocean behind me. The lighting is distorting the water, so it makes the water look more blue than it really is, because it's a very gray night. So the water, if I was looking at it, looks very gray. So the benefit of sort of a white wall with, what is that, sort of like wood plank, surface is reflecting the light and making the water look more blue, which is good for the camera. It's good for the camera. Is there a chance we can see fourth stimulus sooner than October 1st? I don't know what October 1st is. I don't know what October 1st is. It is possible to get this done sooner than that. Yes, absolutely. Could there be a chance that we see the checks in October? October. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's Jan. Thank you, Jan. Pennsylvania says applications for rent assistance are closed. Okay, so reach out to your city and your county and your city hall and your county house authority. Also reach out to the Herald. Reach out to United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, St. Vincent de Paul. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, and St. Vincent de Paul. Thank you, Jackie. Are we gonna have to wait till October to now? No. I'm a little bit tough on tonight's Evenings LA, where I said I'm tired of people with the calendar. I've gone through a lot of strange narratives, but the people with the calendar have to stop. I'm really tired of it. There's these people that say, it's a version of last year where people said, everyone's out of town, they're not in session. I'm like, they're in town. Stop saying they're not in town. Now the new fake narrative is nothing to October, nothing to September, not back to September. And I see these dates, like people saw a date on the back of a urinal somewhere. Oh, September 19th. Write it on a blackboard somewhere. I'm like, where are you getting these dates from? No one said these dates. In fact, I had one person say, when are they going to vote on the RECON procedure? I'm like, they did it at 4:00 today. It was done. I was like, it's done. I don't know where people are saying these things. So if you see me testy anytime in the next few days, it will be about that subject matter, where people say, not until this date, not until that date, because I don't know where these people are getting these dates. Is Sir Lloyd with me? No, but I think he's in like 10 minutes from now. That's for Diane. And also for Clifford. Do you think a group of trolls are being paid? Yeah, they are. I'm not kidding. I think they are. There is one YouTuber who, I'm gonna watch my words because I don't want to say it. But there was one YouTuber when I launched this channel and I had 100 followers. Immediately I was getting trolls with people saying, "Don't watch LALATE, go watch this guy." And I'm like, who is this person? Why am I getting trolls? I only have 100 followers. He was sort of in the space, and now he's doing something else. But if you're an original viewer of me, you know who this guy is. And he should not be in politics. That's how I should say it. So once it's law, we'll get 10 days after. This third stimulus, some people took a while to get that check. I make less money in 2020 than 2019. That's a great question. So they generally do it off of the most recent tax return. That's a great question. So IRS always does money off the most recent tax return. So if they think you made a lot of money, let's say in 2018, and you took a bath in 2020, you need to get that tax return on file that shows you took a bath, because all they know is that you had a great 2018. That's a great question. I don't know who that was, but that's a great question. Are you Mitch's surfer term? I am not. So I guess Sir Lloyd and Javita Light's coming up in a few minutes. So I'll let you enjoy them. They're at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live on air. Do not forget to sign up for the new LALATE alerts. There is Kim, and there is, let's see the hair. Oh, the hair is pretty good. It's very, very high. I mean, the camera's been sort of low on set lately, so you can't see the whole extent of the hair. There's a lot of hair there. There's a lot of hair there. There's a lot of hair, so it needs to get cut. So make sure you sign up for the LALATE alerts. It's at news.lalate.com/alerts. If you have not confirmed your email address, make sure you do. It may be in the spam folder, and if you can't find it, just sign up again. Totally free across the board. Thank you, Deep Blue Cat. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, the hair looks pretty good, but it's just, it needs to get cut. It needs to get cut. And you don't see it on set because the frame of the camera sort of cuts it off. All right, have a beautiful evening, and then see you on a Sirloin and Javita Light next. Have a beautiful evening.